Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
My girlfriend said, "You're not husband material, not for the lifestyle I deserve." I asked what lifestyle meant. She pulled out a wish list. Luxury car, designer bags, weekly vacations, all funded by me. I didn't argue. I just nodded. 3 days later, when she came out of her building and saw who was waiting in my car, she went pale. I'm Mark, 35, and I'd been dating Chelsea for about a year when she dropped this bomb on me. We met through mutual friends at a bar, had good chemistry, started seeing each other regularly. She was 28, worked in sales for a tech startup, made decent money, but clearly had expensive taste. I'm a mid-level manager at a manufacturing company, make a comfortable living, but nothing extravagant. From the beginning, she made little comments about wanting the finer things, but I thought she was half joking. The conversation that ended us happened last Monday night at her apartment. We just finished dinner, Thai takeout I'd picked up on my way over, and she'd been quiet all evening, scrolling through her phone with this distant expression. "What's wrong?" I finally asked. She set her phone down. "We need to talk about where this is going." "Okay. Where do you see it going?" "I need to know if you're serious about me about a future." "I am. I've been thinking about it a lot lately." "Good, because I need to be honest about what I'm looking for in a husband." "All right, I'm listening." She took a breath, like she was preparing for a presentation. "I want a certain lifestyle, the lifestyle I deserve. And I need to know if you can provide that." "What kind of lifestyle?" "Hold on." She got up, went to her bedroom, came back with her laptop, opened it to a document, an actual document, like a spreadsheet. I made a list. She turned the screen toward me. There it was, formatted with bullet points and everything. New luxury car, BMW or Mercedes, $70,000 to $90,000 range. Designer handbags, Chanel, Gucci, etc., $3,000 to $5,000 each, minimum 4 per year. Weekly spa treatments, $200 to $300 per week. Bi-weekly vacations, mix of domestic and international, $5,000 to $10,000 per trip. Designer clothing budget, $2,000 per month. Fine dining 3 times per week. Upscale restaurants, $300 plus per meal. Country club membership. Future home in gated community, $800,000 plus. I stared at this list for what felt like a full minute. Did some quick mental math. We were talking about an annual spend of easily $200,000 to $250,000, not including the house. "Chelsea, this is a lot. I know it seems like a lot, but this is what I grew up with. This is what I expect." "You grew up with this? Your parents gave you this lifestyle?" "Well, no. But they should have. They made bad choices. I'm not going to." "Bad choices like what?" "Like being content with mediocrity. My dad worked the same middle management job for 30 years. My mom was a teacher. They could have done more, been more. I'm not making that mistake." "Chelsea, I'm a middle manager." "I know. But you're young enough to change that, to be ambitious, to want more." "I do want more. But this list," I gestured at the screen, "this isn't ambition. This is fantasy." "It's not fantasy. Plenty of people live like this. Plenty of people who make multi-million-dollar salaries or inherited wealth. I make $95,000 a year. This lifestyle would cost me 3 times my salary. So make more money, work harder, start a business. I don't know, figure it out. In the meantime, what? I go into debt funding your designer bags and spa days?" Her face hardened. "This is why you're not husband material, not for the lifestyle I deserve." Those words hit like cold water. I'm not husband material? Not if you can't provide what I need. What's the point of getting married if I have to compromise everything I want? Marriage is about partnership, building a life together, not one person bankrolling another person's luxury lifestyle. That's such a middle-class mentality. I am middle class, Chelsea. So are you. But I don't want to be. And I thought you didn't either. I guess I was wrong. We sat in silence for a moment. I looked at her laptop screen again. At this absurd wish list she'd apparently been cultivating. Is this an ultimatum? I asked. Either I commit to funding this lifestyle, or we're done. I'm just being honest about what I need to be happy. That's a yes. Mark, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to be realistic. I could date guys who'd give me this without blinking. I've been giving you a chance because I thought you had potential. But if you're content being average, you know what I mean. I really don't. She closed her laptop. Maybe we need some time apart for you to think about whether you're willing to step up. Step up. Yes, be the man I need you to be. I stood up. I'll think about it. Good. Take a few days. Really consider what you want. I left her apartment and sat in my car for 10 minutes, just processing. Then I made a decision. Update 1. The next morning, I called my older sister, Monica. She's a family lawyer, handles divorce cases mostly. I told her everything. Jesus Christ, she said when I finished. Please tell me you're dumping her. I am, but I want to do something first. What? How quickly can you pull together a financial consultation? For what? I want Chelsea to see exactly what her lifestyle expectations look like in real numbers. Like a professional breakdown. Monica laughed. I can have something by tomorrow. You're devious. I like it. Also, I need a favor. That prenup template you showed me last year, the really aggressive one you said no reasonable person would sign? The one that protects absolutely everything and gives the other party basically nothing? That's the one. Can you draft something like that with Chelsea's name on it? Mark, what are you planning? Just trust me. She sent me the documents by Wednesday morning, a financial analysis showing exactly what Chelsea's lifestyle would cost annually, $287,000, even more than I'd estimated. How much I'd need to earn to afford it comfortably, $450,000 plus, and how long it would take me to reach that salary at my current career trajectory, 15 to 20 years, if ever. There was also a prenuptial agreement that essentially stated, all assets acquired before and during marriage remain separate, no spousal support in case of divorce. She brings nothing to the marriage and leaves with nothing. Wednesday afternoon, I texted Chelsea, "Can we talk tonight? Your place?" She responded immediately, "Yes. I've been hoping you'd reach out. See you at 7? Perfect." I showed up at 7 p.m. with a folder. She answered the door smiling, clearly thinking I was there to agree to her terms. "Come in. Can I get you anything?" "No, I'm good. Let's sit." We sat on her couch. She was practically vibrating with anticipation. "So, what did you decide?" "I thought a lot about what you said about the lifestyle you deserve. And you're right. You deserve honesty. I knew you'd see it my way. I brought you something." I opened the folder, pulled out the financial analysis. This is a professional breakdown of what your lifestyle wish list actually costs. She took the papers, started reading. Her smile slowly faded. As you can see, we're looking at roughly $287,000 per year, not including the house purchase. To afford that comfortably, I'd need to make about $450,000 annually. So you'll work toward that. Chelsea, I'd need to become a C-suite executive or start a wildly successful business. The statistical probability of that happening is extremely low. But not impossible. Technically, no. But here's the thing. I pulled out the prenup. If we got married, I'd need ironclad financial protection. This is a prenuptial agreement. It specifies that all my assets remain mine. You have no claim to anything I earn, and in the event of divorce, you leave with exactly what you brought into the marriage. She stared at the prenup. This is insulting. Is it? You want me to fund a $250,000 lifestyle. This protects me in case you change your mind later. I would never sign this. Then I guess we have a problem, because I would never agree to your terms without this protection. You don't trust me? You don't love me. You love the lifestyle you think I should provide. There's a difference. That's not true. Chelsea, you have a spreadsheet. You literally made a wish list of luxury items and told me I'm not husband material unless I provide them. That's not love. That's a business transaction. Get out. Gladly. I stood up, left the documents on her coffee table. For what it's worth, I hope you find someone who can afford you, but I'm not that person. I left. She didn't stop me. Update 2. Thursday morning, I got 7 texts from Chelsea. You humiliated me. That prenup was cruel. I can't believe you'd treat me like that. I was just being honest about my needs. You could have just said no. Instead, you made me feel like a gold digger. I deserve better than this. I didn't respond. Thursday afternoon, my friend Ryan called. Dude, Chelsea's telling everyone you tried to manipulate her into signing some insane prenup. She's not wrong, I did show her a prenup. But why? I explained the whole situation, the wish list, her expectations, my response. Ryan was quiet for a moment. That's actually brilliant. Ruthless, but brilliant. She needed to see what she was actually asking for. What are you going to do now? I'm done with her, but I want her to understand one more thing. Which is? That I'm not the problem. Her expectations are. Friday morning, I called Monica again. The other favor I mentioned, is your friend still available? The one who's an actual financial advisor? Yeah. I'll check. By Friday afternoon, everything was arranged. Update 3. Saturday morning, I told Chelsea I wanted to talk one more time, that I'd pick her up at 10 a.m. She agreed, probably thinking I was going to apologize. I pulled up to her building at 9:55. At 10:02, she came out wearing designer sunglasses and carrying a handbag I knew cost at least $3,000, probably bought on credit. She opened the passenger door, then froze. Sitting in my passenger seat was Monica's friend Diane, a certified financial planner. Who's this? Chelsea asked. This is Diane. She's a financial advisor. Get in. We're going to have a conversation about reality. I'm not getting in this car. Fine, we'll have it here on the street. Chelsea looked around. Some of her neighbors were out, walking dogs, getting coffee. She got in the back seat. This is crazy, she said. This is necessary, I replied. Diane, if you would. Diane pulled out her tablet. Chelsea, I reviewed your lifestyle wish list. I'm going to break down exactly what you're asking for. I don't need a financial advisor. With your current salary of approximately $65,000, you can afford roughly $1,800 per month in discretionary spending after taxes, rent, and basic expenses. Your wish list requires approximately $24,000 per month. That's a $22,200 monthly shortfall. Mark would cover the difference. For Mark to cover that difference while maintaining his own standard of living, he'd need to earn $450,000 annually. He currently earns $95,000. Even with aggressive career growth, he won't reach that income level for at least 15 years, if ever. So he needs to work harder. No, I said. I need to find someone who doesn't measure my worth by my bank account. That's not what I'm doing. That's exactly what you're doing. You literally have a spreadsheet. Diane continued. Additionally, the lifestyle you're requesting would require Mark to allocate 75% of his gross income to your discretionary spending. That's financially unsustainable and would prevent any retirement savings, emergency fund building, or long-term wealth accumulation. I never said he couldn't save. Yes, you did, because the math doesn't work. You can't have both. Chelsea's face was red. I'm not listening to this. She got out of the car and slammed the door. Diane and I watched her storm back into her building. Think that worked? Diane asked. Doubt it, but at least she heard it from a professional. Diane smiled. For what it's worth, you dodged a bullet. I see this all the time. People with champagne taste on a beer budget, thinking love means someone else funding their fantasy life. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that. Final update. It's been 6 weeks. Chelsea blocked me on everything after the car conversation. I heard through mutual friends that she's been telling people I'm financially abusive and controlling. Most people who know both of us didn't buy it, especially after her wish list somehow got shared in our friend group. I didn't share it, but I'm guessing Monica did. Ryan told me Chelsea tried to date another guy in our circle, pulled the same lifestyle expectations on him, and he backed out after 2 dates. She's apparently now claiming she was just testing Mark's commitment and never really meant any of it. Sure, I've been doing really well. Started dating someone new, Jennifer, a nurse who makes less than Chelsea but has her financial life together and doesn't measure my worth by what I can buy her. On our 3rd date, she insisted on paying. When I protested, she said, "Partnership means we both contribute." Felt like a revelation. Monica told me last week that she's used Chelsea's wish list as an example in her practice of what toxic financial expectations look like in relationships. I've had 3 women see it and immediately recognize themselves. 2 of them started crying. One said she needed to rethink her entire approach to relationships. I ran into Chelsea 2 weeks ago at a grocery store. She was with a guy who looked miserable, wearing designer clothes that probably cost a month's rent. She saw me, pretended she didn't, and quickly left. Some people will never understand that love isn't a transaction. That partnership means building together, not one person financing another person's fantasy. Chelsea will probably keep looking for someone to fund her lifestyle, and maybe she'll find him. But he'll be as unhappy as that guy in the grocery store looked. As for me, I learned something valuable. When someone tells you they deserve better, believe them. Not because they're right, but because anyone who thinks that way will never be satisfied with what you have to offer. The car conversation with Diane wasn't about revenge. It was about forcing Chelsea to confront the reality of what she was asking for. Whether she learned anything from it, I don't know. But I learned plenty. I learned that I'm worth more than someone's wish list. That my value isn't determined by how many designer bags I can buy. That partnership means growing together, not one person carrying the other's luxury lifestyle on their back. Chelsea wanted a husband who was material for her lifestyle. What she got was a wake-up call about what that lifestyle actually costs and why it's nobody's responsibility to provide it but her own. Edit. For people asking if the car thing was too harsh, maybe. But she needed to hear it from someone other than me, someone with actual professional credentials, that her expectations were unrealistic. I gave her numbers. She dismissed them. Diane gave her the same numbers with credentials attached. Edit 2. No, I didn't share the wish list with our friend group. That was Monica's doing, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. Chelsea made her expectations very public through her behavior. The wish list just gave context. Edit 3. Yes, Jennifer knows the full story. I showed her the wish list on our 5th date because I wanted full transparency about why my last relationship ended. She laughed, said, "That's insane." And then we went back to having a normal, healthy conversation about actual relationship expectations. That's how I knew she was different.